On why Russia still matters to India. In this part 2, we look at the concrete deals New Delhi could sign this week, with Russian President Vladimir Putin arriving in India for the 23rd India-Russia summit. Now, if you haven't watched the first part of this explainer series, then do click on the link on the top right of your screen and watch it now, and then come back to this video. Now, everything from Su-57 stealth fighters to additional S400 squadrons, oil packs and joint production lines. Here's what negotiations and negotiators may walk away with when President Vladimir Putin leaves New Delhi on December 5th. Now, the India-Russia summit is a transaction moment. Both sides arrive with lists, India with a procurement and modernization shopping list, and Russia with an offer book that mixes finished kits, system transfers and long-term industrial partnerships. Remember, Vladimir Putin is coming with a delegation of business and industry leaders too. Now, what follows is a rundown of the biggest, most realistic items on that list and what they would mean for India and for Russia. Now, top of the headlines, the Su-57 stealth fighter. Multiple reports say India will press Russia to offer a pathway to acquire the Su-57s, initially off-the-shelf exports of the Su-57E, and crucially, a future plan for licensed production and technology transfer to India. A likely structure under discussion. An initial batch delivered from Russian production lines to meet India's and the Indian Air Force's near-term needs, followed by an India-based manufacturing phase under a joint or licensed agreement. Russian outlets and defense analysts say Moscow is prepared to open parts of the Su-57 ecosystem, engines, sensors, avionics, to deeper industrial ties if New Delhi pushes for local manufacturing. But two big caveats remain. First, the Su-57's advanced engine and certain stealth materials are sensitive technology. Any transfer will be gradual and politically fraught. Second, buying a fifth-generation fighter from Moscow could trigger US scrutiny under the CATSA rules and compliance, as well as complicate New Delhi's Western defense cooperation, a trade-off India will have to weigh very carefully. Now, missile defense technology is next. India already contracted the S400 systems years ago. Briefings indicate New Delhi may seek additional S400 squadrons, potentially as many as 5 of them. And these requests are reported in some defense outlets, speaking of multiple new squadrons, plus clarity on pending delivery schedules as well as logistics support. Now, beyond more S400s, headlines also say that India could explore talks on the S500, Russia's next-generation long-range anti-ballistic missile and anti-satellite capable system. Moscow has been willing to discuss advanced systems for friendly partners. India will be cautious, asking for capability briefs, timelines and sustainment arrangements before committing to any additional purchases. Now, for New Delhi, the logic is deterrence depth, layered air and missile defense against high-end threats in the region where Chinese capabilities are rising. For Moscow, additional S400 or S500 sales are strategic and economic lifelines amid very limited Western markets. Now, not all deals are headline grabbers. Except firming up long-running, lower-visibility contracts, engine upgrades for the T-72 and the T-90 tanks, continued spares and avionics upgrades for the Su-30 Mk1 fleet, and maintenance packages that keep India's large Russian origin inventory operational. A recent procurement trend: India buying upgrade kits and engines to extend existing platforms' life, quicker to deliver and cheaper than full platform replacements. Russia benefits from recurring revenues. India keeps its operational continuity. Now, sea power is on the agenda as well. Russia has been a key partner for India's conventional submarine as well as the missile programs. Negotiations could cover more BrahMos missiles, the India-Russia supersonic cruise missile joint venture, In addition to that, additional kilo-class or upgraded diesel-electric submarines, as well as the joint ship maintenance as well as repair arrangements could be on the table. Now remember, the BrahMos joint venture is a template for deeper defense industrial cooperation, production in India, technology sharing on missile seekers and propulsion components, and exports to third countries with mutual approvals. The defense headlines run alongside deep commercial deals. With Rosneft and Lukoil already sanctioned by the United States, energy talks may not dominate trade talks this time. Bilateral trade has run at record levels. Indian embassy data put FY 24-25 trade at roughly $68.7 billion, with imports dominated by Russian energy and refined products. But with more pressure on India to stop buying Russian crude, any future oil deal may be negotiated only after the US or EU brokered peace between Russia and Ukraine finally gets signed. A broader theme, India is pushing not just for imports but for industrialization. Now expect proposals for joint ventures, aircraft assembly lines with the S400 single-aisle passenger aircraft manufacturing deal with India's own defense manufacturer HAL. There could be further talks on engine co-development too. In addition to that, missile manufacturing and wider co-production pacts that convert single sales into decades-long industrial relationships. For India, this fulfills its Make in India aspirations and reduces future dependence on imports. And for Russia, it preserves market access while keeping its defense industry economically viable despite US sanctions. Now, what will actually be signed? Expect a mix. MOUs, yes. Delivery timetables, perhaps for equipment already contracted, and framework MOUs for the big-ticket items. These include, like we mentioned, the Su-57s or potentially even the S-500s rather than signed billion-dollar purchase orders. Also remember, the external constraints, US laws like CATSA, EU, as well as the US secondary sanctions on entities buying certain Russian tech or energy, as well as logistics challenges caused by these sanctions. These are likely to weigh in on the Indian side while making these deals with Russia. India will aim to get what it needs while insulating itself from deeper diplomatic costs. We'll be watching the summit closely, and we hope you watched it too right here on News 9.